and welcome into the WRMN 10 o'clock news. I'm Dennis Green. Today we're going to talk about a few things. The suburban shimmers, the vibrant northern lights paint the night sky. Also, energize your mind and body at the Gale Borden Library. The Broadview Six also plead not guilty to charges of impending agents outside of the ICE facility. That and more local stories coming up here on the WRMN 10 o'clock news. It's currently 46 degrees out in the Fox River Valley today as we march up to our high of 55 degrees for this partly cloudy day. Tomorrow we get a lot more degrees as it heats up on a beautiful sunny Friday with a high of 65 and a low of 54. Saturday, clouds come back with a high of 63 and a low of 32. And Sunday, we get a mix of everything where it's a bright, beautiful day and a high of 48. Like we start most days, we want to make sure that you get a chance to be lucky out there in the world. Here are the lottery numbers for Wednesday, November 20th. Good luck. The midday pick 3 comes in at 640 with a 3 on the end. The midday pick 4 comes in at 6078 with a 6. The evening pick 3 comes in at 991 with a 3 as that fireball. And the evening pick 4, 2738 with a 3 on the back. The mid lucky comes in at 16, 23, 25, 35, and 39. The evening lucky 10, 29, 35, 41, and 45. And the Powerball drawing for Wednesday, November 12th, 29, 39, 43, 51, 65, and a final number of 23. Help adopt a sailor. The Palatine American Legion Post 690 is seeking donations for its Adopt a Sailor dinner. When recruits from Great Lakes Naval Station visit American Legion Hall for Thanksgiving dinner, since the recruits will not be able to enjoy the holiday with their families, the Legion will be providing dinner, a day of activities, and the ability to call home for however long they desire. It's our goal to provide to these young men and women a memory that will stay with them their entire life, said Sue Halstein, who is leading the project. Checks made payable to the American Legion with a notation of Adopt a Sailor can be sent to the American Legion attention, Adopt a Sailor, 122 West Palatine Road in Palatine, Illinois, 60067. Donations can also be made online through PayPal using the donate button at alpost690.us. All donations will receive a letter for tax deductions. When we come back, a man brought drugs from California to Naperville while riding the Amtrak. Other news and stories coming up. Energize your mind and body at the Gale Borden Library. And community joins Markland residents for Cookies and Kindness event. The season is firing up. You're listening to the WRMN 10 o'clock news. I'm Dennis Green. We'll be right back.
Hi there, Tammy Scully here from Talk Time with Tammy and Friends. Join me and my sidekicks, Nancy and Becky, for valuable lifestyle tips and unique views and insights on interesting topics and everyday situations, providing nonstop fun and chuckles for all. Get the scoop on consumer news, deep dive on current events, and learn about the newest economic trends, from exercise and gardening to music, travel, recipes, sports, pets, real estate, media, and everything in between. And it's all sprinkled with a healthy helping of bad dad jokes and interesting fun facts to boot. Tune in Mondays through Thursdays from 2 to 4 p.m. for a little fun, frolic, and infotainment. Join us, won't you?
On WRMN. Talk time.
Are you looking to buy, sell, or trade something? Maybe clean out that attic or basement, or just make a little extra cash? Then don't miss Tradio on Out to Lunch with WRMN AM 1410. Weekdays at 12:30 p.m. Call in to let folks in the Fox River Valley know what you're looking for or what you've got to get rid of. It's easy, it's free, and it's a great way to connect with your community. Call in at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. If it's got to go, then let us know. Only on Tradio. Here on WRMN AM 1410.
When I never graduated from high school, I realized I wanted to go back to school because I didn't want to work these back-breaking jobs the rest of my life. With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed to come back to school. I felt accomplished, made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Back to the WRMN 10 o'clock news. I'm Dennis Green. Thanks for listening to WRMN 1410 on that AM dial. Or perhaps you're over on YouTube, youtube.com. You can find us at WRMN Radio. We appreciate you being there. Find the full schedule lineup of other shows and more information about WRMN over at WRMN1410.com. Police say a man brought drugs from California to Naperville on Amtrak. A Chicago man has been accused of trafficking in cocaine and methamphetamine by bringing the drugs from California to Naperville via that Amtrak. Brock Ockenard, 45, of 200 block of West 106th Place, is charged with possession of methamphetamine with intent to deliver, possession of a controlled substance, cocaine, manufacture or delivery of cannabis, possession of cannabis, and resisting a peace officer causing injury. DEA told Naperville police Saturday that Ockenard, a suspect in a drug trafficking investigation in which drugs were trafficked from California to Illinois, would be getting off the Amtrak train in Naperville. There were also 2 active arrest warrants for Ockenard. When Naperville police tried to arrest him, Ockenard scuffled with them. According to the charges, the officers suffered minor injuries. The police found 153.6 grams of a pink powder that tested positive for methamphetamine and cocaine, and 993.7 grams of cannabis, according to a news release from DuPage County State's Attorney's Office. Ockenard is being detained pre-trial. His next court date is December 8th. The Elgin Clothing Closet, the first congregational church mission and outreach is open. The Clothing Closet, from 9 to 10:30 a.m. Saturday, November 15th at the church, 256 East Chicago Street in Elgin. It is an opportunity for people in need to choose gently used and new clothing for women, men, and kids free. Supply is based on donations by the congregation and surrounding community. Enter through the main entrance, the double glass doors on Chicago Street. Go up 2 flights of stairs to the top floor. An elevator is available to those who need it. Email Don Schmid at Don, D-A-W-R, Schmid, S-C-H-M-I-E-D, at gmail.com for details. Maplewood developers in Cary get another extension for plans. Developers looking to build a multifamily and single-family homes on the former Maplewood School property in Cary have been granted another 60 days to propose the final plan to the village board. Developer Corgan Clark cited the need for an extension to complete negotiations and finalize construction budgets. Village trustees unanimously approved the 60-day extension at a recent meeting. This is the second delay after the initial 90-day extension was set to expire. With another 60 days to finalize plans, the new deadline is January 12th. The extension will allow developers to finalize construction budgets and complete negotiations of the redevelopment agreement with the village, according to village documents. Despite the total extension of 150 days, developers don't expect the delay to affect their project schedule. Developers updated their plans in June to include some owner-occupied single-family homes and a larger public park after residents voiced opposition to multifamily dwellings. However, residents' concerns over density and building height remain. The new plan calls for 12 two-story single-family homes, 16 two-story townhouses, and 22 three-story townhouses, 2 five-story apartment buildings, and 1 four-story apartment building, totaling 228 apartment units. In conjunction, the Maplewood Road Extension project adjacent to the proposed development is making progress in its planning stages. The new road would be an extension of Industrial Drive, running from Cary to Algonquin Road to High Road parallel with Route 14 and south of the railroad tracks. Its aim is to improve mobility to downtown Cary. The village is nearing the completion of the first of 3 phases. The next phase, which includes land acquisition and plan preparation, is expected to take about 1 year, according to the village website. Village board members unanimously approved in a consent agenda vote last week an agreement to pay $1.1 million to HDR Engineering for engineering services. When we come back, we'll go into some of our headlines, including the Broadview 6 plead not guilty to charges of impeding agents outside of an ICE facility, and energize your mind and body at the Gail Borden Library. Stick around, more WRMN News after this.
We are AFGE, the American Federation of Government Employees. We represent 700,000 federal and D.C. government workers who are the vital threads of the fabric of American life. We support our nation's military. We take care of our nation's veterans. We protect our nation's borders. We respond to our nation's crises and natural disasters. We provide services to our nation's seniors. The American Federation of Government Employees. We work for America.
We are AFGE, the American Federation of Government Employees. We represent 700,000 federal and DC government workers who are the vital threads of the fabric of American life. We support our nation's military. We take care of our nation's veterans. We protect our nation's borders. We respond to our nation's crises and natural disasters. We provide services to our nation's seniors. The American Federation of Government Employees. We work for America.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey Bears fans, want your business heard during every heart-pounding moment of the game? WRMN 1410 is now offering in-game ad spots for Chicago Bears broadcasts. Be a part of the action as thousands of die-hard listeners tune in each week. Whether it's a touchdown, turnover, or a timeout, your message will be right there in the mix. Spots are limited and going fast. Call WRMN 1410 today at 847-741-7700 and score big with in-game advertising that delivers results. Get in the game with the Chicago Bears on WRMN AM 1410.
Welcome back to the WRMN 10 o'clock news. High of today is going to be 55. Tomorrow it's going to be nice and sunny with a high of 66. Get your chance to energize your mind and body at the Gail Borden Library. As 2025 nears its end, it's perfect time to focus on both mental and physical wellness. Before the new year begins, take time to reset and practice self-care to ring in 2026 with a positive mindset. Gail Borden Public Library in Elgin offers a wide variety of programs for all skill levels designed to help participants recharge, refocus, and refresh for the year ahead. Hypnotherapy-based self-discovery class on November 13th. Discover how subconscious beliefs influence thoughts, emotions, and confidence during a virtual session on Thursday, November 13th at 7 p.m. via Zoom. Led by Coach Mia Vasco, founder and CEO of Happy Life Nation, this guided experience will help participants uncover hidden patterns, reconnect with their inner selves, and learn simple tools for personal growth and healing. There's also chair yoga. November 16th, experience this accessible form of yoga on Sunday, November 16th at 12:30 p.m. at the South Elgin branch. That's 127 McLean Boulevard. Chair yoga offers all the benefits of traditional yoga with added support and stability. Participants will perform poses while seated or using a chair for balance, making it ideal for older adults, those with limited mobility, or anyone recovering from injury. There are only a few seats left, so register via gailborden.info to attend this program. Lift with Martina Matheson is happening on November 20th. Join a talk designed to lift spirits and brighten hearts on Thursday, November 20th at 7 p.m. at the South Elgin branch, again at 127 South McLean Boulevard. Hear meaningful personal stories and take away powerful reminders of strength already within. Visit gailborden.info to attend this program. Yoga Rain Stretch and Reset is happening on November 22nd. This empowering wellness experience for teens and adults will take place Saturday, November 27th at 10 a.m. at the main library at 270 North Grove Avenue. The Trauma-Informed Yoga and Mindfulness program is designed for teens and adults managing stress, anxiety, and emotional overload. Through gentle movement, breathwork, mindfulness, and soothing music, participants will be guided to release tension, restore balance, and reconnect with their inner selves. The program is inclusive, beginner-friendly, and culturally aware, making wellness accessible to all. And also over at the Gail Borden Library, the power of meditation and gratitude this holiday season, happening on December 1st. Experience the power of meditation in this virtual workshop on Monday, December 1st at 7 p.m. via Zoom. The session will be led by Sarah Gerlitsky, certified professional coach, longtime mediator, and national speaker. Participants will learn and practice a simple yet profound meditation technique, discovering how meditation can enhance personal well-being, cultivate inner peace, support forgiveness, and help manage seasonal stress. All of these programs can be found online at gailborden.info/events or by phone at 847-429-4597. Geneva Toys for Tots is on. The city of Geneva is participating in the U.S. Marine Corps Reserve Toys for Tots program. People may drop off new unwrapped gifts in the foyer of the building division office at City Hall, 1st and James Streets, or in the vestibule of Public Works Department at 1800 South Street. The last day is December 3rd. Also, the Kane County Law Library and Self-Help Legal Center, in cooperation with the 16th Judicial Court, will have its 22nd annual Family Reading Night with the judges at from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. November 19th at the Kane County Judicial Center at 37W777 on Route 38 in St. Charles. Judges Kevin Bush, Lark Cohort, and Keith Johnson will read bedtime stories to children in second grade and younger. A tour of the courtroom will follow. Children must be accompanied by an adult. The night is a statewide event sponsored by the Illinois Secretary of State and State Librarian Alexi Gonulales and Illinois Center for the Book. For information, call 630-406-7126. You're listening to the WRMN News. We're marching our way up to a high of 55. Tomorrow, we're going to get that sunny day with a high of 66 and a low of 54. Stick around. We've got more great WRMN programming coming up right after this.
Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Hot Hands. If your holiday lights are more dud than dazzling, Wheaton is offering a solution. Through January 30th, the city's Holiday Lights recycling program will accept broken or non-working LED and incandescent strands at the Public Works storage facility on West Liberty Drive. Lights must be loose, not bagged or boxed, and will be stripped and recycled locally by Elgin Recycling. Schools, businesses, and organizations can also participate with no limit on the number of strands accepted. The FDA is easing warnings on hormone-based drugs used to treat menopause symptoms. The agency says it will remove the bold box warning about stroke, heart attack, and dementia from more than 20 hormone therapies containing estrogen and progestin. Officials say new research shows fewer risks when treatment begins before age 60 or within 10 years of menopause. An Elgin man has pleaded guilty to armed violence in connection with a 2021 double homicide. 35-year-old Joaquin Lopez Villagomez agreed to a 30-year prison sentence under a plea deal reached November 6. He had originally faced charges including first-degree murder, attempted murder, home invasion, and unlawful use of a weapon by a felon. Prosecutors say Lopez Villagomez and two masked men entered an apartment on North Jackson Street demanding money. When they couldn't break down a bedroom door, one fired through it, striking Francisco Reyes Hernandez and Ricardo Sanchez. A surviving victim later identified Lopez Villagomez, who had lived in the building. The other two suspects remain at large. In Aurora, two 18-year-old men are facing felony charges after a pair of early morning burglaries November 7th on South Eola Road. Police say officers responded to an activated alarm around 2:13 a.m. and discovered forced entry and a vehicle leaving the scene. A traffic stop linked the suspects, Andrew Gadalo and Brevin Coring, to the burglaries. Gadalo also faces a charge for criminal damage to property. Authorities did not release the names of the targeted businesses or the items taken. I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley.
On the golf tee, it's Skechers World Champions Cup. Watch it live December 4th and 5th on ESPN and ESPN Plus, 12 to 4 p.m. It's PGA Champions Tour golfers from all over the world. Team USA versus Team Europe versus Team International. Watch it live December 4th and 5th on ESPN and ESPN Plus, 12 to 4 p.m. The competition will be tense, but feet will be comfy. Tune in to Skechers World Champions Cup. Final round of golf on Sunday, December 7th on ABC, 1 to 5 p.m.
At Bank of America, we're proud that more than 20,000 veterans and people with military backgrounds have joined our ranks since 2015. Now we're committed to adding 10,000 more over the next 5 years. By helping veterans achieve their career goals, we're moving from appreciation to action, and together helping expand economic opportunity across America. Visit bankofamerica.com/great place to work. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Looking to buy or sell a home in Chicagoland? Need trusted legal help with real estate, evictions, or estate planning? Turn to Guthrie & Brady, the happy lawyers serving the greater Chicago area since 1965. With over 50 years of experience, they handle titles and deeds, foreclosures, landlord-tenant issues, wills, trusts, and more. Appointments available evenings or weekends at their Roselle office or right in your home. Call Guthrie & Brady now at 847-524-1215. That's 847-524-1215. Or visit gnblegal.com. Guthrie & Brady, personal, professional, affordable legal services for all of Chicagoland. The happy lawyers since 1965. That's gnblegal.com. Or 847-524-1215. Guthrie & Brady, trusted legal help made easy, fast, affordable, and experienced. Call today.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by Rain-X, America's #1 wiper blade. Today, mostly sunny with a high near 55, with temperatures falling to around 48 in the afternoon. This afternoon, mostly sunny with temperatures falling to around 48. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 37. Tomorrow, sunny with a high near 62, and temperatures falling to around 56 in the afternoon. Currently, it is 44 and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
How do you stay humble when you're America's #1 wiper blade? That's what we're currently dealing with at Rain-X. Is it even possible to humble brag when you bully Mother Nature like we do? Do we sound too conceited if we keep repeating how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America? No, we'll take a lesson from our wipers and just keep doing our job with humility. As America's #1 wiper blade. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
WRMN News. The Broadview Six plead not guilty to charges of impeding agents outside of the ICE facility. This comes from the AP. 6 Chicago area progressive candidate office holders and activists pleaded not guilty Wednesday on charges alleging they impeded a federal agent during a September protest outside of a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Processing Facility in Broadview. The group, which includes 9th Congressional District candidate Catherine Kat Abigazale, were indicted last month on a felony conspiracy charge alleging they conspired to, quote, interrupt, hinder, and impede the agent from the, quote, discharge of his official duties, unquote. They also face charges for misdemeanor simple assault of a federal officer, which does not require physical contact. But as they have since the indictment was made public 2 weeks ago, the defendants on Wednesday maintained the charges are a spurious attempt by the Trump administration's Department of Justice to intimidate those who oppose the president's immigration enforcement agenda. Abigazale told reporters on Wednesday after the arraignment hearing, expressing your First Amendment rights is not a conspiracy and dissent is not a crime. Do you want to live in a country where you can't speak out against injustice without fearing the law, where your children could be the next one in that courtroom for standing up for what they believe in? The charges stem from a late September demonstration at the height of the protest outside the ICE facility a few weeks into the Trump administration's Chicago area immigration enforcement surge campaign dubbed Operation Midway Blitz. As of last month, roughly 3,300 people had been arrested locally as part of the administration's ramped up enforcement efforts. Though that number is likely much higher now, government attorneys did not provide an updated figure for total arrests at a separate hearing earlier Wednesday in Chicago's Dirksen Federal Courthouse. Of the 50 to 100 protesters present at the September 26 demonstration, more than a dozen were captured on video, including footage posted to Abigazale's social media accounts surrounding a vehicle driven by a federal agent into the ICE facility property, banging on its hood and windows while the agents drove slowly through the crowd. Federal prosecutors also alleged the vehicle's windshield wipers were broken in the confrontation and someone scratched the word pig on the side. But Abigazale attorneys Joshua Herman bemoaned the amount of media attention on the alleged vandalism, quote, as none of the individuals who are charged are accused of doing any of that damage, unquote, outlined in the indictment. He also accused the Trump administration of targeting his client and her co-defendants because of their loud criticism amplified by their public profiles. Abigazale, who was a progressive influencer long before she leveraged her audience to launch a congressional campaign earlier this year, has more than 250,000 followers on X and is approaching 180,000 on Instagram. Others indicted include Cook County Board candidate Catherine Kat Sharp, who has been effective in progressive politics for years and currently serves as chief of staff to Chicago Alderman Andre Vasquez of 40. District Ward Committeeman Michael Rabbitt, a former candidate for the Illinois House, and Oak Park Village trustee Brian Straw. At one point, Straw's attorney objected to his client having to surrender his passport, briefly monologuing that Straw's motivation for protesting in Broadview was in part driven by federal agents, quote, demanding of passport and citizenship papers for people who appear to be of a certain skin color, unquote. After the objection, U.S. Magistrate Judge Heather McShane consented to letting all 6 defendants keep their passports. Also indicted were Andre Martin, Abigazale's deputy campaign manager, and Jocelyn Walsh, who does not work in politics, unlike the others. During the same September 26 protest in Broadview, federal agents shot a rubber bullet through her guitar, which she used to give impromptu musical performances at demonstrations. After Wednesday's arraignment, however, Walsh reprised her songs at a rally in Federal Plaza across from the courthouse. Walsh sang, "This is for our people who are locked inside," referring to detainees at Broadview. Quoted, "Together we will defend our rights." A crowd also gathered outside the courthouse ahead of the hearing, with approximately 50 people chanting, "We support the Broadview 6." When we come back, we've got a few other things that are happening here in the Chicagoland area. Vibrant northern lights painted the night skies. Suburban shimmers. We'll talk about that when we come back. Also, a video shows how Palatine police officer assisted immigration agents with an arrest. And former Carlson store in Wheaton could become a co-working space. More to come here in the local area on the WRMN News. Coming up right after this.
Elgin isn't just a city, it's a community built on connection, innovation, and opportunity. And at the heart of it all is the Elgin Chamber of Commerce. For over a century, the Elgin Chamber has helped local businesses grow, connecting entrepreneurs, advocating for progress, and inspiring the leaders of tomorrow. Whether you're a new business just starting out or an established company looking to expand, the Elgin Chamber is your partner for success. Join a powerful network of leaders making a difference in our community every day. Together, we're shaping the future of Elgin, one connection at a time. Elgin Area Chamber of Commerce, where business and community grow together. Call now, 847-741-5660, or go to info@elginchamber.com. Contact Carol Gieske.
My name is Ariel. I moved to the U.S. at 19. I spoke no English and I struggled finding job opportunities. Everything I have, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and getting my high school diploma at age 22.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome back to the WRMN News. I don't know if you checked it out, but the vibrant northern lights painted the night skies in suburban shimmers. Head on over to the Daily Herald. Right there on their front page, they've got some great pictures of the northern lights shown brightly Tuesday night over the pond near Barrington and Higgins Roads in Hoffman Estates. And also the northern lights stretched across the suburbs, giving residents a chance to photograph the vibrant colors. If you had a picture or two that you saw on Tuesday, send it on over to the WRMN text line, 505-926-1410. That's 505-926-1410. The Northern Lights have made an impressive appearance across the suburbs this week, and more could be on the way. In towns including Schaumburg, Carpentersville, Huntley, and Crystal Lake, intense colors overtook the horizon for hours on Tuesday. Red and green painted the sky shortly after 7 p.m., setting off alerts on Aurora Borealis cell phone apps. Social media was buzzing with residents uploading photos. Produced by severe solar storms, the colorful display was visible not only across most of the northern United States, but as far south as Arkansas and Alabama. Over the past few days, the sun has emitted several bursts of energy called coronal mass ejections. At least 2 reached Earth as of Tuesday. There was some impact on GPS communications and the power grid. Sean Dahl with the National Oceanographic Atmospheric Administration said in a video posted on X. The uptick in solar activity also forced NASA on Wednesday to postpone the launch of Blue Origin's new rocket carrying Mars orbiters. How bright the auroras are and how far south they are visible depends on when the solar bursts get here and how they impact with Earth's atmosphere. According to the Associated Press, the sun is at the maximum phase of its 11-year activity cycle, making the light displays more common and widespread. Aurora displays are commonly visible near the poles, where charged particles from the sun interact with the Earth's atmosphere. But sky gazers are spotting the lights deeper into the United States and Europe because the sun is going through a major facelift. Every 11 years, its magnetic poles swap places, causing magnetic twists and tangles along the way. Last year, the strongest geomagnetic storm in 2 decades slammed Earth, producing light displays across the northern hemisphere. And soon afterwards, a powerful solar storm dazzled the sky gazers far from the Arctic Circle when dancing lights appeared in unexpected places, including Germany, the United Kingdom, and New York City. The sun's active spurt is expected to last at least through the end of this year, although when solar activity will peak won't be known until months after the fact, according to NASA and NOAA. Former Carlson store in Wheaton could become a co-working space. The Carlson hardware store helped generations of folks in Wheaton prepare for snowstorms, find a crisp American flag for 4th of July, and repair even the most antique of lamps. The shuttered downtown store was part of a family business that began more than a century ago. Now there are plans for the vacant main floor to get a new life and more light bulb moments as co-working space. The development team behind Cross Function, a flexible office and event center in Oak Park, wants to replicate the concept in a beloved building on Front Street. Trent Stoner, founder of the co-working business, said, "We love this site. It's already woven into Wheaton's history." Wheaton-based E.P. Doyle & Son, the contractor that transformed the former Sandberg clothing and sports memorabilia store into a sleek new home for Starbucks, would lead the design build work. It's only the first phase of what could become a larger project. Stoner said, "For now, our focus is entirely on the hardware building, restoring and activating this cornerstone space. However, in the future, if it makes sense and timing is right, we looked to thoughtfully redevelop the adjacent parcels in a way that complement downtown Wheaton's existing character and needs." Old Cedar Shake shingles would be removed from the exterior of the empty hardware store just as they came down from the old Sandberg building at Front and Main Streets. The ground floor would feel like the lobby of a boutique hotel, Stoner said. Along with private offices, the first floor would also include a cafe-style area and a large conference room. The second floor would have small team suites and provide quieter, larger workspaces. There are existing offices in the upper floor. Stoner said every square foot of the building is meant to support local professionals, people who want to live and work right here in Wheaton. To turn that vision into a reality, the project team has asked the city for a special use permit that would allow the co-working space to occupy the main floor of an existing commercial building within the retail core business district. It's intended to be a, quote, extensively developed compact area consisting primarily of retailers according to the city's zoning ordinance. Nicole Aranis, chair of Wheaton Planning and Zoning Board, said there has been, quote, at least some caution, unquote, in the past about the use of first floor spaces for offices, and there is a case to be made for protecting the core businesses for retail, she said. Still, the corner spot is, quote, uniquely situated. It's closer to the eastern edge of what is downtown, Aranis said. Based on some of the apartment building going on downtown, Mark Plunkett, another zoning board member, said, "I think this type of office space has a good purpose and will serve the town well." The advisory panel has recommended approval of the request. The Downtown Wheaton Association has also expressed its support. The final decision rests with the City Council. Officials are aware of several buildings that offer co-working space downtown. The Killens Co-working and Social House, named after the home of the Chronicles of Narnia author C.S. Lewis, opened on Wesley Street earlier this year. That tells us there's strong demand and momentum for flexible work options in Wheaton. We're not trying to outdo anyone, Stoner said. There's plenty of opportunity for everyone serving different needs and purposes and price points. Many professionals now work hybrid schedules and don't want long commutes, but they do want inspiring places to collaborate, Stoner said. Wheaton, he said, already has what that workforce values: walkable streets, great restaurants, independent shops, and a strong sense of community. The vacant store, however, is on a quieter stretch. By adding the local hospitality-driven workspaces downtown, we're meeting the nationally trend while strengthening the local fabric, bringing weekday foot traffic, visibility, and energy back to Main Street. Read more over at the Daily Herald. We're going to go over as well into a few other reports. This one, before we close out, the video shows how Palatine police officer assisted immigration agents with arrest. Palatine officials have released video from police officer's body-worn camera that shows him assisting federal immigration agents with an arrest late last month. The arrest and the officer's involvement led some residents to call for Palatine leaders to ban immigration agents from using village property and resources. Village manager Reed Austin told a packed crowd on Monday's village board meeting there are no plans to enact such policies because they are merely cosmetic and unenforceable. The village also defended the officer's actions, saying the unidentified officer, quote, made a split-second decision to assist in stabilizing the situation. Under the state's Trust Act, officers are prohibited from assisting federal agents in civil immigration enforcement operations. They can intervene if they believe there is a safety risk. In the 5-minute video obtained through the public records request, the officer arrives at the strip mall parking lot on the 1100 block of East Dundee Road just before noon on Monday, October 27th. An agitated crowd of roughly 20 people have surrounded 3 masked immigration agents. 1 woman and 2 men have detained a man and are holding him on the ground. The officer asks the agents if they are with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. The female agent says they are and shouts at him to tell them to get back. The officer asks the crowd in English and Spanish to back up and, quote, let them do their job, unquote. Seconds later, the officer leans into the scrum and says to the agents, I got this hand, you get the other one. Then he grabs the arrestee's right arm. In the heavily edited video released by police, there is no recording of the agents asking the officer for assistance. The man the agents are arresting is face down on the pavement, his right wrist already handcuffed in the video. The female agent is kneeling while another agent attempts to pull the arrestee's left arm from underneath him. Palatine officer next says to the agents, let me get this hand, then grabs that arm. Officials following the arrest last month, police officials said the department, quote, remains committed to complying with all state laws. Officials added, the department is here to serve and protect all members of our community equally. Residents should feel safe reporting crimes without fear of immigration repercussions. And Palatine Police Chief William Nord also defended the officer's actions before the village board recently, citing the officer's intervention necessary to avoid additional negligent tactics deployed by the federal agents during the arrest. Thanks for listening to the WRMN News. Stick around for more great WRMN programming coming up after this.